Music and food go together like beer, bratwurst, and, well, polka. But have you ever thought that polka might affect the taste of beer or sausage, or that our perceptions of music can influence how we think about the music that we love or hate? Today we're going to explore the rich relationship between taste and musical perceptions. First, some bits of relevant history. Early examples of this relationship include Josefo Zarlino, a prominent music theorist of the 16th century, and Hector Berlioz of the 19th century, who used descriptors like sweet and soft for musical consonances and instruments. However, using taste descriptors for music could well have happened before Zarlino. More recently, from the 1940s to the 1970s in New York City, the music genre salsa originated from Afro-Cuban musical styles and was heavily developed by the Cuban and Puerto Rican immigrants of New York, quickly spreading through North America and Latin America while earning its name for its spicy and hot sound. Today, usage of taste and flavor descriptors between cultures and in fields like audio engineering continue to evolve, as many may have heard adjectives like crunchy or creamy regarding some musical sounds. We'll touch on texture descriptors like this, but for now, keep in mind the 4 fundamental taste descriptors: sweet, bitter, sour, and salty. Studies have shown associations between taste perception and musical features. Here are some relationships they've found. Bitterness often matches with sounds that are lower in pitch or deemed unpleasant, while sweet often matches with the sounds of a piano. Sour soundtracks are often regarded as the most exciting of all, but participants often confuse the meanings of sour and bitter descriptors, such as when tasting the sour taste of citric acid. Some taste words, such as sweet, are more commonly associated with the taste intended by the composer of a soundtrack, whereas bitter is not so easily matched with the intended taste. In other words, people generally have a clearer sense of what is sweet music versus what is bitter music. Musical experience can also moderate whether a soundtrack is matched to one taste or another, due to an experienced musician's focus on melody and harmony versus someone with little musical experience focusing on timbre. Converse to using taste descriptors for music, musical features can also affect the taste perception of food or drinks. Consonance or dissonance of music played while tasting can affect the evaluation of juice. This goes for texture of food as well. Consonance, legato articulation, and low discontinuity in music are reported as congruent with sweet and creamy chocolate, whereas dissonance and higher discontinuity are reported as congruent with bitterness and incongruent with creaminess. However, this effect was only seen in participants who held a preference for the creamy soundtrack. Some researchers have even dubbed using sound to alter the taste of a dish as sonic seasoning. For the following point, we should make a distinction between flavor and taste. Flavor, for perceptual scientists, is an experience derived from many of our senses coming together to create something richer in sensory information than taste alone. Sounds can also affect the pleasantness of odors, contributing to the overall flavor perception of food and drink. The effects of music on taste are a great example of how our senses are connected, interacting with each other, and how they pick up information that is inherently ambiguous or capable of being influenced by other senses. More than a basic sensory relationship, patterns of taste words and musical concepts reach into the domains of cognition and semantics. Knowledge and experiences derived from evolving cultures and languages create associations between taste perceptions and musical perceptions. Sometimes, semantic associations may also be a driving factor as to why a soundtrack is deemed salty, such as when salt shaker sound effects are used in the soundtrack. Music and language can alter how we process the meaning of a descriptor, and music often invokes emotional and physiological states that are described in metaphoric language. Taste descriptors could stem from this pattern of metaphoric language use, as many of us may have heard taste descriptors used toward emotional states or interpersonal relationships. These semantic relationships between auditory input and taste represent top-down processing, whereby music can shape our perceptions of taste, odor, and flavor. Cognitive processes shaping perception like this are a theme in the exciting frontier of sensation and perception. Whether you like salsa music with your sauces, polka with your bratwurst, or listening to pop rock while eating pop rocks, the contributions of music to the world of flavor are an interesting field of study to enhance the ways in which we enjoy food. If you're just as interested in this field of study as your taste buds might be, consider checking out the sources below. Don't bother liking or subscribing because I'm not trying to gain a YouTube following.